Hello, everybody. Good to see you. Jus Piddlin BBQ Live. Welcome to everybody. Let us know if you can hear us all right. Gary, good to see you tonight. First one in. Miss Amy, good to see you. Cotton's Tiki Bar. You got a left click, honey.
Maybe I was right click.
With your left hand, that's a right
Yeah.
click. Mike Tabor, good to see you. Matt Borner, good to see you. J Cat, Tom, Anderson Smoke Show, Eddie Berry, Mark Summers. Good to see everybody in the house tonight. We're going to go ahead and get started. We can't have a channel update every week. It's just there's nothing changing, Matt. It's just a subscriber update and stuff like that, what we've been up to a little bit. Mr. Lana, good to see you. Big Lou, good to see you. If you hadn't, y'all go check out Big Lou's Barbecue. Of course, just about everybody has and should. Good to see everybody. All right, we'll go ahead and get started. First of all, channel update. As of 10 minutes ago, got it made. That's what I'm talking about. My man Fetty. Good to see you, brother. As of 10 minutes ago, we were at 6,028 subscribers. So that's up probably 60 or 70 or so from last Wednesday, something like that. That's awesome.
I didn't do the math.
It's probably one of the biggest jumps we've had per week. So good stuff. We appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute as to why that might be 84 from last Wednesday night. That's pretty good. We'll talk about why I think that is in just a minute. I think it's got a lot to do with.
We got to make some.
Yeah, J-Cat, we're going to make some maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. And as soon as we do, I'll post on Instagram and Facebook that it's back up and going. So I appreciate that. And I'll tell you why we're kind of behind on all that stuff in just a minute. My man Fetty will probably understand all this. It's easy to get behind when you're kind of doing everything yourselves, and so, but update on Nate real quick.
Hey, Eddie.
I sure hope so, Eddie. I sure hope so, man. I appreciate you and good to have you. Tom, good to have you. Update on Nate. So he got through the Crucible Saturday morning, and we got a phone call from him Sunday. They had a 3-hour Liberty Sunday, and got to talk to him. And man, you talking about a proud young man. He's as proud as I remember being after getting that EGA put in my hand, and had some great stories that he was telling. Of course, he was saving some for when he gets home. He wanted to tell us, but for those of you that kind of remember, he had lost his drill instructors due to a investigation. A recruit made a allegation against a drill instructor, so they removed all of their drill instructors. Well, right before the Crucible, he got all of his drill instructors back that morning, right before they left to go off to the Crucible. And so he's got his drill instructors back. Obviously, there was nothing to the allegations, and that recruit has been dropped back to a different platoon. So he'll be there a lot longer than he would have been if he had just hung in there. But that's just the way it goes sometimes. But man, super proud of him. They had one of the coldest crucibles I'm aware of, and a lot of people have said one of the worst weather conditions for a crucible that they've had. It was cold, it was raining, it was nasty. And right before that, during BWT, Nate had gotten sick. He had had pneumonia and an ear infection and a virus. And he got a little bit better, but went through the Crucible with that nasty weather. And so this past Monday, he had to go back to the doctor because he still has stuff leaking out of his ear, and he can't hear out of his ear. So I'm curious to see what they had to say about that. Maybe some antibiotics, and that'll clear it up. But regardless, next Friday he'll be graduating
Coming home.
and coming home.
Probably.
And Thursday, we will be at Family Day. We'll get to spend a little bit of time with him on Thursday and Wednesday. There will be no live stream next Wednesday night because we will be at Paris Island Wednesday night. That's a kind of a day where families get to go on Paris Island and kind of get indoctrinated into
Yeah, we have a party.
Marine family life and stuff like that. So I basically just want to go because it's funny when you graduate Marine Corps boot camp, you want to get off the island as quick as you can. And now I always look forward to going back. I mean, you don't realize what a special place that is until after you leave it. And it's really special to me. And so I always look forward to going back to it whenever I can. So I want to stay there as long as I can now. Nate will be ready to get off of there as quick as he can. But that's an update on Nate. When we get some more info, we'll let you guys know. But just super proud of him. Can't say that enough. So that's an update on him. And again, no Wednesday night show next Wednesday. But we may do some type of live stream, maybe Facebook or something that weekend because we'll be cooking out and all that stuff. So we may do something like that. And
Saturday.
I thought about maybe even having him on the live stream the Wednesday after that, just to kind of talk about his experience a little bit. That might be kind of neat.
Y'all can do that.
Old Fetty, old Marines love the Corps a lot more now than we did then. That's a fact. That's a fact. That's that old saying, if I knew now what I didn't know then. But man, it's just, I'm so happy for him that he gets to be a part of this brotherhood for the rest of his life. And even now, as proud as he is, I don't think he knows how important that is to him, or how important it's going to be to him later on down the road. But I wouldn't give anything for that. It's really indescribable. And even he said, you really don't know how difficult Marine Corps boot camp is until you go through it, and you can't really explain it to anybody unless they've been through it because they're still not going to know. He said, Dad, you told me how it was, but I still had no idea. But now he does. So, but that was really cool. One special moment about his phone call, and then we'll get to the barbecue stuff. I had sent him one of my name tapes off of my camis, probably the week before the Crucible, and I told him to put it in his pack and carry it with him on his journey through the Crucible. And when we were on the phone, he said about halfway through the Crucible, he said it was so cold, we were wet, we were shivering. He said I started thinking, am I going to make it through this? And I pulled that name tape out of my breast pocket. He said I kept my breast pocket. I pulled that name tape out and looked at it, and I said I got to keep going. So he said that was one of the things that really helped me through that, was having that name tape in my pocket. So that was really a special moment to me. I'm glad that helped him. And he even said one of the squad leaders that was beside him, Nate's been a second squad leader the whole time, and the first squad leader asked Nate what it was, and Nate told him, and he said, hey, can I touch it? So Nate let him touch it, and so I think maybe that helped him get through as well. So it's special little things like that can help you through something like that, some type of adversity. So I was really proud of that moment, and kind of emotional, really. But those are the special moments that he and I can share forever now, because he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I think after him going through that experience as well, maybe he understands a little more why I was so tough on him, and maybe why I saw things the way that I did, and the way I still do. So anyway, it's going to be a good time having him home, and I can't wait to get him home. And hear all of his stories and reminisce myself and all that. So we'll keep you updated anyway. I got a little long-winded on that, but before you hop off, guys, give me a thumbs up for the live streams. I really appreciate it. We had a great show last Wednesday night. We had up to 91 people on here for the live stream. Most time the average is around 30. It was amazing. And even after that, usually the average views for one of our live streams is about 300. That's usually the average. And we have gotten over 1,800 views on that live stream from last week. And I really think it's because of the Weber Smokefire discussion that we had. So many people are searching, wanting info on that grill, and I really think that's why we had so many views. And we're going to talk about that more here in a minute, and some of the possible disagreements, repercussions of discussing the Weber product. So we'll talk about that here in a minute. That's a good question too, Cooper the Great. I'll get to that too. But first, let's talk about what we don't have to talk about, and that's a video, because we didn't do a video this past weekend. Had a couple doctor visits later on in the week that I told you about. Everything's all right. I think we might have found a little clue as to what might have been going on for the past 2 years, and nobody could figure it out. It appears anyway that I've got some fairly significant issues in my neck and spinal cord type issues, and so we're kind of trying to get to the bottom of that. So that's what that was about. So that was kind of Thursday and Friday-ish, and then Saturday, Nate was getting through the crucible and all that stuff. We were kind of concerned about that, and it was cold and rainy Saturday. And then Sunday, we were expecting his phone call, and I didn't want to get caught in the middle of a video and not get his phone call. So
you finished his flag Saturday.
But the flag right here that I made for him, that's going to be his graduation present when he gets home. I did finish that this weekend, and I finished that. I wanted to finish that on the day that he got presented his EGA, and I thought that would be something special. He's getting his EGA, and I'm finishing his flag at the same time, and that's going to be pretty cool to present him when he gets home. And I'm going to write a little message for him on the back and all that stuff. So that's going to be pretty cool, and something that he can keep, forever, and kind of we can have that bond together as well. And also, speaking of the flag, I did sell a flag to, maybe it's not going to ruin a surprise, to Miss Tammy, Cotton's Tiki Bar. It's a customized flag, and she chose a symbol to put in the middle of it, in the middle of the stars. And so I've been working on that all week in the afternoons pretty much, and it's about 70% done, and looking pretty good so far. I'm pretty happy with it. Still got the stars to do, and then some finishing touches on it, but it's coming along really nice. So I appreciate that, Miss Tammy. Harley, real quick. Harley's down in Florida. Him and Curtis Nations, that was on here, the call-in show a couple weeks ago. They're cooking together down in Florida at the Oracle show, some kind of big show down there. They're cooking at it and having a big time down there. And want to say thanks to Curtis. I think he might be helping me out with a brisket for Nate's homecoming from Bootcamp, which would be, that's a really nice touch for Curtis to do. So I want to say thanks to Curtis for that. Outstanding guy.
Good night, 666.
666, appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. Enjoy everything that you do.
Thank you, Matt.
So that's kind of a rundown on what we've had going on this week. In a nutshell, it was a lot more involved than that. But between the stuff with Nate, doctors, and working on that flag, and baseball stuff. We've had baseball stuff in the afternoons as well. And the weather, it's pouring down rain right now. That's pretty much what has kept us going. What Traeger pits are you at? And that's a great question. Out there in the barbecue shed right now, I have added a Traeger Timberline 850 and a Traeger Pro 575, in addition to the Pro 780, and also Nate's Pro 20, I think, is out there. So be looking for some cooks on the Timberline 850 and the Pro 575. We're going to get to those probably this weekend. Appreciate you asking about that. So let's talk about the live stream last week and kind of the fallout, if you will, from that. I hear you, Big Lou. Let us know what you're cooking. So huge jump in views on that live stream. 1,800 going on 1,900 views on that thing. And so evidently it's got to be because everybody's searching for reviews on it and wanting to know what people are saying about it and that kind of stuff. Now, I caved and told him about the flag. Can't wait to get it. I know it's going to be great. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad I didn't ruin a surprise. I was worried about that. But it's coming.
Hey,
it's coming along nice. Stephen, appreciate you, brother, and I hope you're doing well. Now, Mike was gracious enough to call in and give us his take on it and talk about the review that he did on his channel with it and give us his honest opinion on it. Mike has no dog in the hunt, really. You know, it is what it is. Kind of like me, if I have something on my channel, really most of the time, if I have something on my channel that I don't like, that's just not very good, I'm probably just going to send it back to somebody and not really put it on my channel because I'm not in the business of, you know, dogging out people's products. However, if it was something that I thought might create an unsafe situation for some of my viewers, for example, I'd probably put it on there just to let you guys know about it. God forbid I put something on my channel that's not very good and you guys go out and buy it and something bad happens. I would feel really bad about that. So I know Mike. I know where he's coming from. I know where his heart is. I know what kind of guy he is. And I know why he put it on his channel. It was exactly what I just said. With that being said, and it's not just Mike, it's really anybody that does an honest review of that grill and has a negative experience and says so. The Weber followers, the traditional Weber do or die followers,
Thank you, Stephen.
They can't take it. They can't stand it. And whether the review is honest and true or not, whoever publicly states that is garbage, is trash, doesn't know what they're talking about. They're a troll, all those things, you name it. And Mike, as well as others who really are just trying to help people out. They're trying to put info out there to give it to you, and then you make your own decision. That's all. But according to the Weber gurus, the Weber Facebook groups, those people are garbage, which is unfortunate. And let's be clear, those guys actually put the grill on video and showed you exactly what's going on. It's even gone so far that some of the people, because I went and checked out some of the groups and were reading what some of them, there was one group that you didn't have to join to be able to read the comments. So I started reading the comments. These guys are so diehard Weber that even though they've got one of these smoke fires and it's not working properly, they're putting in their comments, it's not that big a deal. So you've got guys that just paid $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 for a smoker that they're having to spray the hopper with silicone spray to try to make it slicker so the pellets slide down. They're putting gaskets on stuff. They're shimming stuff. They're doing all kinds of stuff to try to fix all the problems that this grill has. If you pay $1,200, I don't care if you pay $500 for a grill, and you're having to spray it with stuff and shim it and put gaskets on it and do this and do that to it, you need to take the thing back. You know, it's one thing to be a supporter of a brand, but at the end of the day, either the product that they put out is right or it's wrong. And so I just wanted to throw that out there. You've got people who are actually trying to do people a service by just putting the info out. People want a review. So people like Mike are giving people a review, but it's an honest review. You may like it, but you may not like it. So careful what you wish for. Some of the people that ask for a review, they don't really want a review. They want their side of the story. They want it from their perspective that they want it to be, not what it actually is. But Mike and others are the type of guy that they're just going to shoot you straight. And today's world, there's not a whole lot of straight shooters left out there. And so, Mike at Everyday Barbecue, I want to say I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, Mike, I know that table is beautiful.
Tom, pellet question. Anyone know if cooking with pecan pellets is risky for people with nut allergies? Tom, that's a great question. I've never thought about that. I would think not, because it's just adding smoke. But I don't want to tell you that for sure and something go wrong. So, but that's an interesting question. I'm not sure about that, Tom. Maybe somebody else on here can answer that question for you.
Hey, Jason.
Jason, good to see you, my man. By the way, Mike, again, that table is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Mike, and I appreciate your support, man. And, you know, the folks that try to do it right have got to stick together, is the way I feel about it. And I know you're trying to do things the right way. It's just unfortunate. I mean, I was reading stuff a while ago. It was about that particular grill. And I mean, those Weber guys were actually arguing amongst each other about it even. So it's kind of comical, to be honest with you. Which one? This one? Mm-hmm. I thank my lucky stars I didn't buy one of them Smokefires. Thanks for the advice you gave me a couple weeks back. And again, Eric, it's not a coincidence. Even before I saw a review, me and Harley said, because people were asking, what do you think about the Weber Smokefire? And I stated, you can go back and look at the live streams. I stated, I don't know. I don't own one. I haven't even seen one in person. However, the one that I saw on video, I don't understand how the grease draining system is going to work when you don't have a drip tray and it's dripping down by a fire pot that's got a live fire. To me, that sounded like a grease fire. I said that a month ago. And that issue it looks like it's going to be an issue. It is an issue. With that being said, what I didn't know was the issue about the pellets not being able to slide down properly and the software issues and all that stuff. So, Matt, brother, man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And by the way, I want to say that I appreciate everybody's support on the channel for Nate's journey through boot camp. He even said that a lot of that is what got him through boot camp, was knowing that he had all this support from back home. So I really appreciate that.
Dave C, we're probably going to make some tomorrow.
Yes.
If not tomorrow, there will be some made by the weekend.
By the weekend.
Yeah.
And I will announce it on Instagram and Facebook. Please, if you're into stuff like this, please follow me on Facebook and Instagram if you can, if you have Instagram, because I put a lot of that info on there. And so as soon as we get more, I'll be sure to put it on there so you guys can get some of that.
Hey, Mr. Mark. Terry.
Eddie Hanks has an answer for the nut allergy. Allergies are from the proteins in the nuts. Smoke doesn't have proteins. You're safe. Smoke away. That's what I'm talking about. I appreciate that, Eddie. And that makes total sense. That's kind of where I was going with it, but I didn't know how to explain it, but you did it perfectly. Mike, brother, you don't have to do that, my man. I appreciate that. But I'm just saying exactly how I feel, my man. I don't do Facebook or Instagram. Guess I'll tell you what, Dave. I'm pretty sure I've got your email address. And so Brandy's making a note right here. As soon as we get them made, I'll send you an email. How about that? Customer service. More beer for Nate's graduation. We'll probably need some of that. I will anyway.
It's definitely going down Saturday night.
I will. We need some donations for toilet paper for.
No, tissue. I just need tissue box. Like the little travel tissue packages I want stuck in all my pockets.
Yeah, you need 10 travel tissue.
I'm not even wearing makeup.
Past couple of days, every time we mention it, the sprinklers come on.
That ain't funny.
You called it on that Weber. Makes you wonder how it gets passed. I don't know. I really don't. I can't explain it. There are several theories out there that maybe they tested this unit and it wasn't the official unit or something. I don't know how that would happen with such a reputable company. I don't know. Surely I would think somebody has had their rear end handed to them over this issue. I would have to say that. Surely that has happened, but I don't know. Again, but if you look, like say there's a job opening at one of these grill companies, lead engineer, must have a 6-year degree in engineering, blah, blah, blah. I promise you, whoever come up with all those designs had tons of engineering degrees. I don't have a single engineering degree, and in 5 minutes I can look at that thing and think, man, that looks like a damn fire. I mean, I don't know.
Matt, I'm definitely not doing that. And Amy, I'm going to let you handle that with him.
My cup is awesome. Hey,
we just talked about that a while ago.
Yeah, I got to get Amy's cup. I got to get Amy's cup in the mail.
Steven's sign.
And I got to get Steven's sign in the mail. I'm going to do something special with Amy's cup before I send that thing off.
Oh, I'm ready for Nate to graduate because it's been...
J-Cat, so sometimes what happens...
Devaye!
So before I go any farther, I've said this before, but Sergeant Major Devaye right there, he was my drill instructor 22 years ago. As a matter of fact, Saturday when Nate called, he got Sunday when Nate called, he got his EGA Saturday, And that Sunday was February 23rd. February 23rd, 1998 was the first day I got on the island, which was really ironic. I told Nate that and it blew him away. So the day that Nate earned the title, actually got his EGA, was one day prior to my first day on the island 22 years ago. And at that time, Sergeant DeValier was my drill instructor. Such a sweet fella he was. I've got a lot of stories that I could tell of what I remember anyway. But man, what an influence. And I'm not sure if you heard, but Nate got his drill instructors back right before the Crucible, and so glad that he has that experience with his drill instructors, because that I know that means the world to him, as it would me. So Fetty and Fetty, Marine as well, got it made. Says, was he the heavy or senior? He was the heaviest of the heavy. He, well, Fetty, this has been a long process, long, enjoyable, emotional process. Finding him, and man, the memories, and believe it or not, he's a real person, a real normal human being. I never thought I'd say that, but he's actually a normal human being. But man, you talking about, I'm standing at attention as we speak. I know I'm kind of scared to move right now. While I was talking to Nate was standing out there and he was like, man, I'm
skittish.
I don't know what to do with myself. He said, I swear I'm scared that my drill instructors are going to come out from that bush right now and just start ripping me, you know? And so, yeah, but he is an actual real human being that does real normal human being things. I would not have been convinced of that 22 years ago. He was like part bloodhound, part, I don't know. He had a sixth and seventh sense. I remember one time, this has nothing to do with barbecue, but I can't help it. I remember one time we couldn't take hot showers. For the whole boot camp, we had cold showers. Sometimes we didn't even get a shower. They turned all the shower heads on and we just ran through and ran back out. And it was freezing water. But some recruit decided they were going to take a hot shower. And they went in the head and they turned the hot water on. I don't know how he knew. I swear, this is a true story. And he's in his camis. Sergeant DeValier at that time is in his camis. And I'm talking about pressed to the T. I mean, he looks like something that would be on a magazine cover or something. But he comes in straight into that head. He's knocking people out of the way, goes straight to the showers, to the shower head that the hot water's coming out of. I don't know how he knew how the hot water was on. But I haven't even made it into the showers yet. 90% of half of our platoon's in the head that ain't as big as this bedroom.
Good night, Big Lou.
Buck naked. And we're down there in the floor doing push-ups. I'm under a sink doing push-ups because some idiot decided to turn the hot water on. So that's just an example of my experience with him in boot camp. And the fact that somehow he knew that I had a highlighter in my cargo pocket during drill one time. And he walks up. I felt a sting on my thigh as he slapped my thigh. And a whisper in my ear, what the piss is this, Smith? And then I heard a snap, and he had snapped that highlighter in my cargo pocket. Well, we went through the rest of the drill, and I'm still mad about this. I can say that now. I'm still kind of mad about this. So we get back to the squad bay, and my leg is kind of cool, and it's wet, and I look down, and I've got a huge yellow spot on my camis. And later when I take my trousers off, My freaking leg is dyed yellow. For like 2 days, I had a yellow leg from him snapping that damn marker. Because our knowledge book was called a green monster. We highlighted stuff. We had just come back from class, got in there, swapping over to go out and drill, and throughout the chaos, I still had my highlighter, so I just slid it in my pocket. I don't know how he knew. I don't know. Maybe he saw me. I don't know. Maybe
J-Cat, do we have your email?
maybe one day we'll get to meet, and I'll have to find out his secrets about all that stuff.
Me? You've already met him.
Well, I'm talking about as a real human being. The first meeting didn't go so well.
He probably thought it went great.
However, let me tell you this story, and then we'll get back to barbecue. Because Fetty, I want you to hear this. But so the reason why I connected with him is because, and I've told somebody this story already, but Fetty will appreciate this. So after I graduated, Nate was like 1.5 years old, and he had, I guess I can say this now, he had asthma at the time, and so he was hot. It was in May.
Yes,
His
Matt.
little cheeks were red. And so we go back to the squad bay. I'm ready to get my stuff and get out of there. And so we get into the squad bay, and Nate is asleep. Little 1.5 year old dude. He's hot. Well, as I'm getting my stuff together, just like Nate felt this past weekend, here comes Devalle. And I'm like, oh shit, man, I just graduated. He's finna chew my ass about something. And he walks straight over and grabs Nate. Let me see, little dude, and goes over to a freshly made rack that they were so meticulous about, and lays him down on that rack for him to sleep. And I'm like, who the hell is this guy? Because he's been gnawing my ass, and now he wants to be all nice and, teddy bearish and lay Nate on the rack. But now Nate has just earned his title. And I thought that was so ironic. 22 years ago, Nate's a little baby being put on the rack by my drill instructor, and now he's there and he has just earned the title. And it's just kind of crazy how all that stuff kind of comes full circle. And then, so I just reached out to him on Messenger and told him that story, and just wanted to thank him for being such a great influence in my life, because it really did turn my life around. And 15 minutes, he messaged me back, and we become friends on Facebook, and talk back and forth on occasion. And it's just been a great experience, and I'm so thankful for that. But man, what a great experience. Like I told Nate, I've been so grateful because I've went through boot camp, but now I've gone through boot camp as a dad. And I'm not sure which one was harder, because every time, trust me, I've got a calendar for every month, and I had typed in for each day what he was doing that day, and marked the line through each day that passed. And so I saw what he was doing tomorrow, and I remembered where I was and what that looked like and what part of the island it was. And I remember parts of those days, and knowing the hardships that he was going to have to face. And, that was difficult too. And wondering, is he all right? Is he doing good and all that stuff? And he has done great. He ran a first class PFT, expert on the rifle range, squad leader from week 1 all the way until he graduates. He did say also that his senior drill instructor told him that he was getting a meritorious promotion to PFC because of his leadership during boot camp. And I thought that was amazing. I'm very proud, because it's hard enough to just get through that type of environment. It's like being in a pressure cooker. Some people can handle the pressure and some people can't. And, but not only has he gotten through it, but he has thrived in that environment, which makes me proud. So, good stuff.
JCat, we'll check with email, and we'll send you an email too when the sauce gets done.
Sorry for that long story, but once I get rolling on Marine Corps stuff, she'll tell you. How many times have you heard of them stories?
At least 100.
So I get to roll on those. I could talk
Matt,
about
that's
that stuff
why
forever.
I just got up from the table, so I had to go do that and
No,
get
I'm
some more
good.
coffee.
I'm good. Marines don't do that kind of mess.
That's a lie. Don't believe that.
Dave, I appreciate that, and that's true. That is true. I like it. I like the way you think.
Lord. You're
I appreciate
welcome,
that.
Amy.
Good stuff.
I do love him. I love him.
So yeah, that was. But anyway, it was great to see. Great to see him on here, man.
And he said, "Great flag." I don't know if he was listening when you said who's the flag belongs to.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I made that for Nate. Yeah, he was. Actually made it the day he got his EGA, so that'll be his graduation present when he gets.
Very true. Very true.
When he gets home. Sergeant Major, if you'd like one, I'll make you one, and you'll have to pick it up so that we can reminisce a little bit. I'll make that deal with you. Eat some barbecue. I won't have a damn marker in my damn pocket neither. Good stuff. All right. So that's all the reminiscing. That's all the Smokefire talk. And that's really about all we were going to have tonight, ain't it, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Sauce. We'll have the sauce by this
made.
weekend, yeah. And I apologize for that. It's just with the stuff with Nate going on, and then Semper Fi. I appreciate you.
Good night, y'all too.
Thank you so much. Be safe. I'm sure he gets a good laugh about all that stuff. I would. But with that, and then the flag, I told Miss Tammy I'd have that mailed off by the end of the week, and so I want to make sure that I get that flag off by the end of the week before we start heading over to Parris Island. Definitely Wednesday, so I want to get that done by this weekend, as well as Miss Amy's mug and Stephen's sign.
Sign.
So got to get that out too. Also, let me ask you guys this, and I wish Stephen was still on here so that I could ask him, but let me ask you guys.
What's his anniversary? And then he's got a appointment tomorrow.
Okay. What's going to be the best way for me to mail these flags? Is it going to be UPS? Is it going to be?
Oh, he's listening.
Stephen, help me out with how should I mail these flags? These flags right here, these big ones. I mean, obviously, I'm gonna not shrink wrap them, but bubble wrap them, and then tape them up, and then may sandwich them in some cardboard or something, and then wrap them in some paper. But USPS is the best I have found, and Fetty would know because Fetty mails all kinds of stuff. A lot bigger than these flags.
Said hand delivered.
Hand delivered. Build a crate. So here's the thing too, okay? Call me and I'll tell you how I do it. I'll do it. Because here's the other thing though, Fetty. So, and maybe it's just because I'm cheap and trying to save money, but like when I package something, the whole time, because I'm always worried about it getting broke through the shipping. So I wrap something like it's a hand grenade, but the whole time I'm wrapping it, I'm thinking, I mean, all I'm doing is adding weight to this thing, which is going to be more expensive to ship. You know what I mean? So where's the happy medium between like overpacking and keep adding weight to it because it's going to be more expensive to ship, or, you know, Stephen says he'll help me with the shipping costs. I'll do it, Stephen. And Fatty, I'll get with you too and see how you do it. Or sign up for a FedEx account. Man, I'm telling you, 3 layers of cardboard, leave about 4 inches on the sides, tape the hell out of it. Well, that was my plan. They're going to need a hacksaw and a sawzall to get into it, but you know, I don't want anything to happen to it. The weight you are adding isn't going to matter.
Fatty, you can't tell him that.
I could ship that to you from Bristol for $15. Really? I swear I was figuring it was going to be
Maybe
50 bucks.
18.
I figured it'd be like 40 or something. Because Poe sent me that metal flag.
Yeah, but oh my gosh, that thing was.
I mean, it's a little heavier, but not much heavier than this. But I want to say he paid $55 to ship it. I think. I don't know. I shipped about 100 signs last year. Add the cost of the crate. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. So, Fatty, if I do it, U.S. Postal Service, I just take it up there and say, after I wrap it, obviously, and say, hey, I want to ship this. And I guess they're going to weigh it or measure it or whatever they do. And then they're going to say, all right, $45. I'm going to say, no, damn it. Fatty said $15. You need to call Got It Made. Well, either way, I'm going to ship it. So,
yeah, I don't know what he's fussing about.
But I tell you, prepay it with your PayPal. I mean, I could do it with my Spotify deal. I mean, they give me a good rate. I just didn't know. I can get your shipping costs way down. Shipping is determined by weight and size. Gotcha.
$23 from.
Just shipped 18 by 36 sign to Florida from Indiana to Orlando. $23. Okay. Well, y'all make me feel better.
Yeah, because I'm sure he's been stressing out about this since
I have.
he started.
I have.
I know you have.
Anything.
He flips out
Once I do
everything.
something once, I'm good. Wrap it in boxers. I have been thinking about the boxers thing too.
Oh,
I thought about just buying some blank boxers.
Hey, wait.
And then just hand signing each cheek or something. I'll sign a cheek, you sign a cheek, and then we'll just sell them for like, I don't know.
Nobody said they wanted our signature. They want Jus Piddlin.
Well, that's what I'll put. Jus Piddlin. Or piddling in my pants or something.
I can't do nothing with him.
I'll figure out the boxers thing. Amy, you're going to be the first one I send a pair of boxers to. Pirate ship. What does that mean?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are, ma'am.
And he's flipping out.
Yes, you are. Because the other ones, I was, making them and learning as I go. And so I made the first one.
For us.
Yeah, the first one is in our living room. The second one was for my brother.
Harley, yep.
And this is the third one. And yours is the fourth.
Yeah, so only on one side.
See, Gary's down for the signature. We'll just sign them. Get a bunch of blank boxers and just sign them. And
well, there ain't nothing in the bank account, Mike, so I don't know what that's going to do for you.
Put an arrow on the crotch and a note that says, I piddled here.
Yes, Amy, we have talked about the pirate ship.
From Bristol.
Bristol.
Gotcha. But now I have to weigh it before I do it. So
That's the packing material.
yeah. So I guess so. Here's what we'll do because I don't have like I've got a scale that I weigh my small boxes on, but nothing that I can weigh that except a scale in there. So listen now, because you're gonna have to be a part of this. I'm gonna have to get on the scale. You write my weight down, and then I'm gonna have to get off the scale, and then you hand me the sign, and then I get back on the scale, and we'll write that weight down, and then we'll subtract the two to know how much the sign weighs.
No, hell, we ain't. We taking it to the damn post office, and they gonna weigh it themselves. That is like.
That's just piddling, babe.
No, you're complicating the whole thing.
Well, Fetty says it's 10 pounds, so that's just what we're going to do. We're just going to do 10 pounds. See, so now I've got somebody to blame it on. So 10 pounds and $15. If it's more than 10 pounds and more than $15, I'm just going to send it to Got It Made. He's got it. He's got it made. Appreciate that, Fetty.
Yeah,
Fetty's my man. Fetty, we're about due for a Bristol trip up there to Jus Piddlin at the.
I'm definitely not climbing up there with him on the scale.
At the Jus Piddlin headquarters up there. You ready?
I didn't know it was named that. When did you buy it?
It's actually not just. I mean the Got It Made headquarters up there.
I was about to say.
Did I say Jus Piddlin?
Yeah. You said
well,
Jus
when we go
Piddlin.
up there, it's going to be a takeover.
Stop.
Going to close on the new shop next month. That's awesome, man. I'm proud of you. I mean that.
Matt, you better stay out of trouble.
That's good stuff. You just don't ask to do it. Oh. I didn't see that, but that's good, Matt.
Yeah.
I like it.
No.
Fetty would do that. He would do that. Miss Jeannie. Fetty, it's about time. Yeah, it's about time for you to go to Jared, Fetty. Just throwing that out there. Ain't that the name of that place?
What?
The jewelry store?
Jared's?
Yeah.
What'd you call it?
Jared.
I think you said something. Hey, Bill. They're listening. They're just not talking.
Who?
Kirsty and Bill.
Oh, my buddy Bill. Wild Bill. Another old devil dog. This is devil dog night. Wild Bill.
Matt said that's the way he weighs his luggage.
That's what I'm talking about, Matt. You gotta be resourceful when you're doing this kind of stuff. And it's always great to use your better half.
Yeah, that's
like
what
Jared.
he said. That's what he said.
No, that was
Yeah.
just my
You
accent
need to
coming
go,
out.
Jared.
That was my Tennessee accent coming out. It comes out when Fetty gets on here.
No, it don't. You said Jared, not Jared.
You know, if you notice, Fetty hadn't said nothing about that comment. He went silent.
Yeah.
He choked on his tongue on that. I do have Jenny's number.
You do know such thing.
Yes, I do.
Fetty, don't listen to him.
Let me tell you Jenny's number.
Oh, stop. Yeah, I know where you're going with that. Quit. Hey, Justin.
We have some mugs.
What?
Do we have? We got another mug. We do, don't we? I think we do.
I don't know. I'll have to look. Might be one down
Pump the brakes on that one, old boy. I'll give anybody a iron bean coffee mug just like this one. I'll send it to
You
you.
need to turn it the other way so they see
Well,
what's on the other
when
side.
I send Amy's, if you can give me Fetty's lady friends, Kurt got it. I didn't even have to say it.
I already know because you always
I know,
ask something
but
that
that
you
was great.
already talked
I know,
about.
but it was good. It was good.
Always.
That was good,
you just
Kurt.
give it out there.
That was good, Kurt. Fetty, and I would be concerned about Kurt having Jenny's number, by the way. All right, Kurt. Write that down, babe.
Justin, we've been doing great. How about you?
Outstanding, Justin. Too late, Matt. Sound like a lot of guys have Jenny's number. 86753. Oh, you missed a number anyway, Matt.
He's changing. I need to.
That was a great tune, by the way. I won't be able to get that out of my head now.
Oh gosh. Thanks, Betty.
That was a great tune. Fetty, when we come, I'll bring you one of them pies too, like I brought last time. In that drawer down there. Bingo.
Don't get smart.
Didn't realize I was behind just now. All right, guys, we've been on about an hour, and we have really talked about absolutely nothing. You're right. Great tune. It is a great tune.
I know.
I hear it right now.
Well, you're.
I might sing it here in a little bit.
No, you're not.
I'm going to sing it here in a little bit.
New hat logo.
New hat logo. Who said that?
Can't stick it on.
Oh, where? How about the new hat logo? I've got to order a stamp, a heat transfer stamp to brand leather with. As soon as I get that, then I'll order the. I got a bunch of crap to do to catch up on.
You just put too much out there.
Really, to be honest with you, everything's kind of been on hold until
Nate gets home.
Yeah.
After Nate gets home, he'll get back into his groove.
I've been a little preoccupied
Who wrote
with
the
all
song and what year?
that. Oh man. Was it Eddie Money? Was it Eddie Money? Well, I'm thinking Eddie Money. That's probably not right. Tommy Two-Tone.
Oh gosh, don't look it up.
I gotta look that up.
Yep.
Tommy Two-Tone. Except it's T-U-T-O-N-E. Tommy Two-Tone.
What year
I would have never.
does it say? 81.
You were one.
I was a baby. I was still in diapers.
Brandy was 1 year old. That is true. That is true. This is the definition of piddling. What's the reason for shutting down mode rather than just turning the Traeger off? Lonnie, that's a great question. So if you just, the shutdown mode stops the auger from dropping pellets into the fire pot, but it keeps the fan going, which keeps the fire going until all the pellets in the hopper burn up. And then it'll cut off by itself. After that time span, the fan will cut off and it'll stop the flame. But otherwise, if you just cut it off, everything's going to cut off, including the fan. The fire will go out, but the pellets that are left in your fire pot are still going to be there. So the next time you start up, it's going to dump more pellets in there on top of that until it lights. And you're going to have a really big fire to start off with. It's going to way overshoot your temps that you set it at, and you're going to have to wait a lot longer for it to come back down. Plus, you're going to risk having a back burn into your hopper if you do it that way. So that shutdown process is to burn all the leftover pellets, unused pellets in your fire pot, so that you kind of start fresh the next time you start it up. So I hope that answers your question. Also, just a tip, Lonnie, if you cook on your pellet grill over 350 degrees, say 400 degrees or higher, really even 350, I'll do it. Instead of just shutting it down to shutdown mode all the way, I'll knock it down to about 250, 275 and let it come down slowly to that level. And then once it levels off there, then I'll shut it down. And that just lets the grill settle down a little bit, start cooling down some. Because if you don't, and you shut it down fully from say 400 degrees, you still have a tendency or a risk of having a backburn up into your pellet tube, into your hopper if you do that. So higher temps, knock it down to a lower temp and let it settle, and then shut it down, and you shouldn't have any problems. So I hope that helps.
Matt, I was born in 80.
That's a great question as well. I was born in 81. Man, y'all are...
We're just a bunch of babies.
Little babies.
Wheat was in the 11th grade. Justin was 5 in 81.
In 81, I was 9.
Mm-hmm.
Robbing the cradle. Mm-mm. All right,
He's the
guys.
oldest man I ever dated.
And the best.
Yeah. Of course. That's why I married you.
Yeah, man, 80s. 80s were great. 80s were great. Great tunes in the 80s. 70s too. Great tunes in the 70s and 80s. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here tonight. Appreciate you being here. Before you leave, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Appreciate it. Thanks to everybody for coming in here. Some great folks in here tonight. Appreciate you, all of you. If you've been here from the start or you're just coming in here, appreciate all of you. So thank y'all. Again, no live show next Wednesday night because we'll be headed to Paris Island, but hopefully we might have a little live deal with Nate being home not this weekend, but next weekend or something like that. So appreciate all of you. Hope all your cooks come out well. Keep up with us on social media. When we get the sauce, we'll send you guys the emails. And thanks again. Can't thank you enough.
You'll definitely see pictures.
Yeah, a lot of them. So thank you guys. Till next time.
Y'all have a great week.
We'll be piddling.
Good night.